Hey guys, in this video I want to talk about portfolios, so what to show in your portfolio, case studies and things of that nature. Since I received a lot of messages on Instagram and also private messages on YouTube and via email with requests of having a portfolio review and things of that nature, and I've started to see some patterns which I think it's beneficial to make a video about it because some of the best practices are going to be universal, and I think that the things that I'm going to discuss in this video is going to help a lot of people when it comes to creating your portfolio and really how to select the items that are going to attract high paying clients, because at the end of the day that's the biggest problem: how to attract high paying clients, and especially how to attract the right clients, because just attracting clients is not enough. You want to attract some high quality clients, because if you end up with clients which are bad, which are not going to pay you, which are just a hassle to deal with, your design career is going to be not a good experience at all. I mean, it can literally be hell if you just have all sorts of clients and they're not good quality and especially high paying clients. So let's just jump into it. So the very first thing which you want to consider is what type of work you want to attract. So you have to establish what your ideal client is and what he wants, and then based on that you essentially reverse engineer your portfolio items. So if this is you, let's make a Y here. You're just going to create portfolio items which are likely to attract those specific clients. Because if you, for example, to give a live example of this, if you want to attract dentists to maybe redesign their website or create their websites from scratch, you don't want to have a lot of iOS apps in your portfolio, because that doesn't make sense. So if, for example, you have iOS apps and your ideal client want websites, that is kind of a turn off for them. So you don't really want to have that stuff. You just want to keep in your portfolio the things which are going to attract them. So this is a very important concept and something which I see that not a lot of people are actually focusing on. And if you can niche down to a specific niche, that's a huge plus. So, for example, I'm going to give you a live example of this. In my case, if you go on my website, you can see that I'm focusing on the helping tech and e-commerce businesses grow by designing great products and brands. Now, in my case, I am niched down into tech and e-commerce, but I could go even further than that. So, for example, I can help SaaS companies, and that's it. And I can just be the designer for SaaS companies, or I can be the designer for dentists, and that's basically it. And the more narrow you go, the easier the sell to that specific niche is going to be. And the reason being is that it's way easier to be the best designer in the world, specific on a specific niche, rather than the best designer in the world. Full stop. Like there's going to be like tons of competition if you're just a generalist, but if you specialize in one specific area, your life is going to be much easier. So, for example, in my portfolio, I have divided my portfolio pieces into 4 specific pages. And the reason being is that it's a strategic decision. This wasn't made out of I think this or I think that. the reason is very specific, and that is that I outreach to companies directly. So when I want to find, for example, a company, when I want to find a web app worker, so for example, if I want to work for a software company, or I want to do some dashboards, I want to do some backend design, I'm going to apply and talk to the business owner, and I'm going to send them this specific link. In this specific link, I only have web apps portfolio. So I don't have iOS design, I don't have website design, because if I'm contacting a person who is specifically interested in finding a designer who can work on their web app, this page is going to show them my expertise with this one thing. Now, what I see a lot of the times is designers have one portfolio page, and they have iOS apps, they have websites, they have graphic design, or they have pretty much everything, and the client can get confused. I mean, there are some clients which understand that, hey, if that designer can do pretty well website designs, maybe he can also do web apps. But for the most part, designer clients do not understand the technicalities of our job. So when they're searching for an apple in the marketplace, you want to give them that apple. You want to be as specific and as niche down as you can. Now, in my case, I have more work than I can take at any time, and I have inquiries coming pretty much on a weekly basis. So I didn't niche down even more, but an even better thing which you could do is to niche down in a specific area of design. So, for example, being a designer for the food industry, or maybe being a designer for the social network industry. And then at that point, maybe you just focus on web apps and websites, and maybe iOS apps, and you don't even do like branding, graphic design, none of that stuff. So in that case, if you go ahead and you contact social network agencies, or startups which have a need of a digital designer for their social network startup, that is going to be a pretty easy sell if your designs and the value which you can deliver is good. Now, this is something which took me a lot of time to really grasp, but once I changed this model, the results just speak for themselves. I've been able to close clients much more easily, and find new work consistently, and without really a lot of hassle. And so yeah, just keep in mind, guys, you have to reverse engineer what the marketplace is looking for. So start with your ideal client in mind, and then work your portfolio up. Not the other way around. So I hope this video was useful, and I'm really encouraging you to take steps forward into applying this. And by the way, if you're interested, I'm actually building a course right now, which is on how to find high-ticket design clients. And you're going to see the link just down in the description box here on YouTube. And what you have to do is just fill up the name and your email, and I'm going to let you know once it's released, because I'm currently building it. And yeah, so if you're interested, you can do that. But again, guys, focus on the client first, and then reverse engineer your offer, and your life is going to be much easier when selling to them.